Yo, what's up everyone, Fadedwave here. Today I'm going to be breaking down how I made a simple rodwave and Youngboy pain type loop, which is going to be one of my upcoming loop kits. So let's get into the sample. So what I'm going to be showing you first of all is the instrument. So we have this sick little piano melody I made. So this is in G minor and I'm just following down the bass note here. And then I go back up again. This is just a simple little melody so it flows all together. And it sounds like this. So as you can see, what I've done here is I've cut up the chords a little bit on here just so it flows together a bit more and it connects a bit better. Then what I've done is I've turned the velocity down for these a little bit just so it's a bit better, and I've repeated this over quite a lot. Then next what I have is the guitar, which brings all of this together, and for being a guitar this is a free VST on Contact, so this is just a free little bank. I'll leave the link in the description below. So this is what it sounds like. I'm on this preset here and this is what the guitar sounds like. So as you can hear here, it has a few little benders, so what I've done is I've played this out on my MIDI piano and I've just drawn in some pictures because I'm not that good at doing it on the controller right now. Moving on to the bass, we have this simple little pattern here and I'll let you hear it now. So as you can hear there, it's just a change in velocities. This bank here, which is the Scarby Rickenbacker bass in Contact, and it's just the night session preset, and it's just the neck version. So for this, it's literally just the bass note and a few like added notes to give a bit more rhythm, and then these little things going down here. This is in the pentatonic scale. Decided to do it in this scale as if you're an actual bassist, you're more likely to do a little filler note with the pentatonic scale rather than just the minor scale of this key, and these are just running down once again. Then next we have this little simple piano melody. This is just so it has a bit runs and it feels like the proper rodwave vibes. This is what this sounds like. So for this, I've just done some little notes here which I skip into it. Can't really describe it much, but if I say highlight this here, you'll understand what I've done. So it's just this little thing here. It just flicks up a little bit. Sounds very like pain and gospel-esque. Now, before I move into these little things here, I'll show you my mix. So for the main piano, it's just a simple EQ. I'm just removing a bit of the mids, boosting the highs a lot and then cutting some of the lows so it makes room for the bass. Then for the delay, all I've got is I went on here, ping pong, and I've turned down the wet a little bit. Then for the reverb, I've just got the simple preset and I've messed around with it a little bit, adding some more wet and this one here. Then I've moved the high cut up a little bit and I've left the sides round about where it is. And then as you can see, I have a piano bus here. This is for the other melody as well, just to collide a bit together and have a bit more balance between the melodies. So for this, I've just added a vinyl 3 preset from RC20 and I've just turned the distortion a little bit down and added a bit of space, and then also made it a titchy bit wider just so it's better in your ears. So speaking of which, melody, what I've got here is I've got the same EQ as before, which I had on the piano. I've got the same delay, and instead of the reverb I had in the other one, I've got some RAM reverb. This is from Native Instruments, just has a nice airy feel and a nice glow to the reverb, and I've just put this down a little bit just so it has a bit more width in it. Then for the guitar, what I've done is cut a little bit of the highs, I've boosted the low mids, and I've cut out some of the lowers. This is so there's not the clicky, attacky feeling of like when you're hitting the notes, as the VST I'm using, like Bank, has a little clicky thing which I don't really like. Then for this I've got the ping pong once again, wet down, reverb, same thing. I think this was the venue preset, but I'm not too sure, but it's just having a little bit of wet, a bit of reverb, and cut some of the lowers out. Then what I've got next is I've got this solid EQ, once again from Nave Instruments. I've got a distorted guitar preset. This is just so it has a bit more width, it sounds a bit more realistic. And then once again I've cut some of the highs, cut some of the lowers, just to put it into the space where it needed to be, so it doesn't clash with other things as much. Then for the bass, it's literally nothing on it. I don't think the bass really needs much on it, and I haven't made it mono because I still want a bit of stereo in it, just to give it more of a smack when it hits. Then moving into the playlist view, you can see I've got some vocals here. These are just some little ones I've recorded. I'm not the best of singers, and to be fair, I don't even think I can sing, but auto-tune helps a lot. So what I've got here is I've just got a little preset I made. So I've got my auto-tune here, I've got this which is just bringing it up so it sounds a bit weird, it's like a radio effect almost, but it's like more in the background. Then I've also got this which is making it very wet and very like deep, so it's more in the back of your head. Then I've got a delay which I didn't think I ended up using, and I didn't use this either, but I did use some Fresh Air. This is a free plugin and it's just like it's saying adding some air to it. And then what I did here was I just routed these two different ones. So for the first one, which I'll show you in a minute, I've just made it so it's very squished together and it's kind of like there but not really. Then once again reverb, and then a little bit of chorus on the normal default preset. I've just turned that down a little bit. Then for the next one, it's literally just some delay on the ping pong preset. Now these are what they sound like. These are individually, so the first one. So as you can see, it sounds a bit squeaky, and that's just because I put it up an octave, but in the actual full loop, it does fit in very good in my opinion. And I've just turned it down a little bit. And then the next one sounds like this. As you can tell, the auto-tune is helping my voice quite a lot because I cannot sing. So I've just turned this bit up, as when I recorded this, it didn't sound as loud as I wanted. But what I've done next for this is I've added a crash, which is the magic one from Troy Vicious's kit. So that's what this sounds like. It's just meant to be a little fade in and fade out kind of thing. Then I've got this Perk Loop, which is from the Elysium kit from me and Riley Beats. I'll also leave that in the description as well. It just sounds like this. It sounds fire, it just adds a little bit of bounce in the background, a bit of texture. You always want texture in your loops, just to make the flow a little bit better. Then finally what I did is I went on Splice and I found this little vocal swell. This is just so when it all comes into this main little bit here, it sweeps together really nice, and it has more of an impact to all these sounds over here. So this has been this little tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Fadedwave, and I'll see you in the next one.